The Great Mothers are already a fantastic unit in Galaxy of Heroes, but they've got one additional benefit that I really want to talk to you about today, and that's the special mission in Rise of the Empire on Dathomir. Let's go over how to beat that mission with no troubles using the greatest of mothers. So Dathomir is the Phase 3 planet on Dark Side. Now you won't necessarily hit it in Phase 3, it really depends on your progress as a guild, how far you get through it. In order to compete in this event, you need a full team of Relic 7 or higher Night Sisters. Now, typically speaking, people have been using Old Daka lead because of the extra health and survivability that it provides, and using all of the revives to sort of keep that team going. Now, the interesting part with the Great Mothers is that they've got anti-revives baked into their kit for your own team. So if you lose a unit, there is no way to get them back, even if you did throw in, Gold Daka in the team. You wouldn't be able to revive anyway, thanks to the Great Mother's leadership. However, it turns out it just doesn't matter. As for why you would want to do this particular mission, you do get given Mark II for every successful completion. Mark II guild event tokens, which are very useful. They get to give you some nice bits of gear or chirotech. It's always good to get more of this stuff. It's far better, in my opinion, to invest in teams that can compete in special missions rather than worrying about, oh my lord, we need some extra R9 platoons for Rise of the Empire so that once we've spent an additional 100 million GP getting useless R9 characters, we might get an extra star for an extra 25 crystals. Don't do that, guys. It's just a stupid investment. Focus on the special missions and you will get immediate rewards straight away that can serve then to enhance the rest of your account at a much faster pace and a lower cost for entry. So it's worth it. Trust me, scribble stamp of approval. For this special mission, we're just looking at the footage behind me. I used the Great Mothers, the Night Trooper, Death Trooper Peridia, Morgan Elsbeth, and Merrin. As long as they're Relic 7, you'll be absolutely fine. I've modded my Great Mothers here for a bit of speed and a little bit of health. You can see my Night Trooper and Death Trooper Peridia aren't exactly modded great, just a little bit of defense on Morgan Elsbeth and some tenacity on Merrin. None of this is particularly well modded. Now, the first phase, all I recommend is you do your first doomed on one of the pre-taunting tanks, Jabba's Enforcers. Once you've gotten rid of that, you just want to go ahead and place that doomed on Hondo to get rid of him. Honestly, the first wave is really, really easy. You don't actually have to worry too much about it, but what I'd recommend you do is try and save your specials towards the end of this phase so you can go into wave 2 with all of your special abilities available to you. In this first wave, I did put Blessed on Morgan Elsbeth. All that really does is give her a little bit of additional survivability, make her that little bit more tanky, but honestly, you could place it on one of the Night Troopers or Death Trooper Peridia, or even if you're not using them, using Spirit is perfectly acceptable in this. You don't have to use the Peridia Patrol zombies. I'm using them because I might as well. You have to build them up anyway for the Peridia Patrol Assault Battle, so you're probably going to have them at least at Relic 7 at some point in the future. Probably a better investment than investing in things like Spirit. So they're really, really useful for this special mission. You can see, look at our health and protection right now. We are completely uninjured. At this point, I have just decided to use basics to try and reset all the cooldowns, so make sure going into wave 2, we've got all of the abilities available to us. Now, it's really, really important going into wave 2 that you take it nice and slow and make sure that you are dooming the correct character first, because it can impact your ability to succeed. Alright, so before we go into wave 2, before you start kicking it off, make sure you take a breather and get ready to actually target the right unit. I do apologize, I'm still struggling with a bit of a cold. So all of our abilities off cooldown, you must put Doom on Dash Rendar. If not, he will AoE and try to destroy half your team. Okay, so this is why we save our cooldowns. Use all of your mass assists, your special abilities, focus Dash Rendar. He should die before taking a turn if you preloaded correctly. Then put it on Maul and hit auto. That's it. It is that easy. They will not be able to do anything to your team. You'll just sweep through them. If you do not put that doomed on Dash Rendar, his first AoE has got some ridiculous damage modifiers, and your weaker characters that are most likely going to be your damage dealers are going to just die. And because you're using Great Mothers, you will not be able to revive them. So make sure, I repeat again, get the doomed on Dash Rendar and kill him as soon as possible. We've got assists from Night Trooper, and we've got a mass assist coming out of Morgan Elsbeth. Use both of them, and you should be able to chew through him very, very quickly, even with substandard modding. The more relic levels you have in your team, the easier it's going to be. And that, realistically, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of it. I'm not going to go and drag this out any longer than it has to be. It just goes to show that even if you're not pushing for Baelen's Skull at the minute, getting the Great Mothers in themselves is a more than worthwhile endeavor. They are such a strong team even without their Datacron, and they bring ulterior benefits as well. Being able to complete an extra special mission within Rise of the Empire is nothing but a good thing. So just in case, I'll go over a little bit more in depth around the modding that we took for this team, just in case people want to have some barriers. So my Great Mothers over here, 96,000 health and 332 speed, a bit of tenacity, and this is at Relic 7. Next up, my Merrin is Relic 9, and she's got garbage mods. I like to use Merrin simply because she's one of my Night Sisters that's at high Relic, but also her Vengeful Bond actually helps keep our Night Sisters alive. Whenever an enemy is damaged, all Night Sister allies are going to recover 5% protection. Keeping that and pairing it up with the healing and survivability that we get from the Great Mothers just means you are less and less likely to lose one of your units if you use Merrin. You could drop her and throw in someone like Asajj or Night Sister Spirit or whoever you want, but I like having Merrin in this team. Next up, we've got Night Trooper. Look at the state of this modding. I am the worst modder you have ever seen. 280 speed over here, a crit damage triangle. We've got some extra potency to help land that blight, but it really doesn't matter. And 8,897 offense, nothing to write home about. Death Trooper Peridia, I'm rocking all health sets at the moment. 71k health, 300 speed, crit damage on the triangle, and a little bit of offense at 8,248. And finally, we have Morgan Elsbeth. She's currently rocking defense set and tenacity set, 95% addition. That's a pretty good amount of tenacity, actually. Hey, go me. I've got a load of tenacity on my Morgan Elsbeth. But there you go. 130k protection, 70k health, basically, and 286 speed. Nothing too special there at all. And that's kind of it. Phase 1, really not too bad. Phase 2, mark down that dash. Strip away his protection and kill him before he gets a turn, and you'll be absolutely golden, ladies and gentlemen. Write down in the comment section down below if you do this special mission frequently and you have successfully done it with the Great Mothers. I will see you all in the very next video, so peace out, and may the Force be with you.